it's your girl ManicMeeks, and I am back with the final episode of Chernobyl. And if you enjoyed the series or, anything else on my channel, go ahead and subscribe. I'm here, you're here, let's be here together. Now, before I jump into this, after Chernobyl, this episode, I will go ahead and start The Terror, because I've been hearing great things about it. A lot of you guys recommended it based on Jared Harris being in that series as well. And so I'm super excited to get started with that. I almost wanted to watch that now instead of this, but I'm like, let me just wrap up Chernobyl and get it all together. All right, so in the last episode, we had, I think it was called The Happiness of All Mankind, and they literally had the 750,000 workers go ahead and try to liquidate everything in the disaster radius that they could. So they were going through moving out people. They killed all the animals, which was sad and sucky. They were trying to clear off the roof. But because I think it was the KGB and the Soviet would not release the actual, what are they called? The number for the radiation, so that they can get help. They were receiving equipment that wasn't strong enough. So eventually they had to go out there and use actual men in 90-second increments to try and move off as much as they could. It was real ridiculous. It was real ridiculous. The firefighter's wife, she lost her baby. It's just so unbelievable. It is so unbelievable. It's just, man. Oh man. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start this episode. I'm going to eat these words. Vichnaya Pamyat. And baby is like, rescue me, please, Jesus.
Naturally, they'll put me in charge once he's gone, and then I'll need someone to take my old job. I could pitch Sitnikov.
I would like to be considered.
We'll keep that in mind.
Everyone's working overtime, the factories need power, someone's pushing down from above. Not that we'll ever know who.
So they wanted to stop the test?
Well, I'm not waiting around. Call me when it's done.
So they were asked to not do the test? Hi.
The West is now satisfied that Chernobyl was solely the result of operator error, which it essentially was. We have you to thank for that, and we intend to.
By doing what?
Hero of the Soviet Union.
Our highest honor. Once it's over, we will have our villains, we will have our hero, we will have our truth. After
But will
that,
you fix?
we can deal with the reactors.
I don't trust that shit. You should be doing it now. Which means you're probably not going to do it. Oh, he's losing his hair.
Chokov is saying they're going to fix the reactors after the trial.
Do you believe him?
Absolutely not.
The state will never willingly fix the reactors because acknowledging the problem means admitting that they lied. They will have to be forced.
I wonder, did they really?
All in these books. These are the ones who are still alive. These are the ones who are dead. They died rescuing each other, putting out fires, tending to the wounded. They didn't hesitate, they didn't waver. They simply did what had to be done.
So have I.
I don't like the fact
I
that
went willingly to an open
this
reactor.
person is like
So I've already given my
forcing
life.
him into a position.
Isn't that enough?
Even though I know this person
No, I'm
represents
sorry,
thousands,
this is
of, not thousands, but hundreds of scientists or something like that, or at least a group of them.
The Central Committee of the Communist Party of the Soviet Union and the Presidium
Oh
of the
my
Supreme
gosh.
Soviet of the
They have
USSR
everybody
has
in
determined that
this.
justice be carried out on behalf
Look at
of
Bolton.
the people, in accordance with the general goal of our party, as determined by its 20th, 21st, and 22nd Congresses, which is a Leninist goal. It was, is, and
Oh, this is what it looked like before it blew.
What if the power feeding the plant itself is disrupted? A blackout, equipment failure, or an attack by a foreign enemy? If there's no power, the pumps cannot move water through the core, and without water, the core overheats, the fuel melts down, in short, a nuclear disaster. The solution? 3 diesel fuel backup generators here. So, problem solved? No. Brikhanov knew that the problem was not solved at all. The backup generators took approximately 1 minute to reach the speed required to power the pumps and prevent a meltdown. And by that time, it would be too late. So we arrive at the safety test. The theory was this: if the facility lost power, the turbine which had been spinning would take some time to slow down and stop. What if you could take the electricity it was still generating and transfer it to the pumps? What if the dying turbine could keep the pumps working long enough to bridge the 60-second gap until the generators came on?
Oh.
Any questions?
No. Continue, please.
To test this theory, the reactor is placed in a reduced power mode, 700 megawatts, to simulate a blackout condition. Then the turbines are turned off, and as they slowly spin down, their electrical output is measured to see if it's enough to power the pumps. The science is strong, but a test is only as good as the men carrying it out.
That's kind of crappy that they tried to blame
The
it all
first time
on
they
them.
tried, they failed. The second time they tried, they failed. The third time they tried, they failed. The fourth time they tried was April 26, 1986.
Because it's a combination of things. It was them pushing the safety test and the flaw or fault in the reactors. I didn't realize that this person would be chosen to testify, and if she wanted to jump up and down and be like, if you do this for us, I'm gonna need you to go out there and start it. Ma'am, I like Legasov, and I'm sad. I'm sad. Because he killed himself. I'm sad.
The first link in the chain of disaster. Competent management would have insisted on cancelling the test. These 3 men allowed it to proceed.
True.
Why was this delay so dangerous? It created 2 problems. One of them is scientific in nature, and the other is very human. This is the one we will consider first. At midnight, there is a shift change.
All those people are dead.
You know the test they're supposed to run, the turbine rundown, they tried it last year. They couldn't do it on the day shift, so they've given it to us.
To us? We don't know what...
Dyatlov is going to be supervising.
I have to do something I've never done before with Dyatlov looking over my shoulder.
Oh, don't worry. We'll do it together.
Oh, that double sucks. So they didn't know what to do. Holy shit, they didn't know what to do at all.
Yes, in the program there's instructions of what to do, and then, well, there's a lot of things crossed out. What should I? Well, what should I? Are you sure?
No, Lord.
Right. Thank you. He says to follow the crossed out instructions.
So then why are they crossed out?
sucks. Like, no one wanted to be considered incompetent.
1600 good. Is it too much to ask that you all know what you're doing?
Well, yes, absolutely.
No.
Yes.
Kirschenbaum?
I haven't reviewed. We only just found out we're...
There, review it. Or you can just do what I tell you. I think even you, stupid as you are, can manage that.
God, I hate this dude. He's such a douche.
The night shift had not been trained to perform the experiment. They hadn't even been warned it was happening.
I feel like I should have read up on the trial to know exactly what he did, because I don't like being in suspense. I don't like it.
There are essentially two things that happen inside a nuclear reactor. The reactivity which generates power either goes up or it goes down. That's it. As uranium atoms split apart and collide, reactivity goes up. But if you don't balance the reactivity, it never stops rising. It would appear we have a vicious cycle on our hands. And we would, were it not for this.
No, he dropped it. You drop it. Pick it up.
Would, were it not for this, the negative temperature coefficient. Fuel increases reactivity. Control rods and water reduce
Balance it. Reduce it.
Steam increases it. The rise in temperature reduces it.
Kirschenbaum, come get me when these old women are ready.
This dude's a
Comrade
dick.
Dyatlov.
Because I'm like, it is a combination of everything that they said happened. Human error, not being prepared, not being trained, and the actual fault within the reactor. But the fact that they were trying to pin it on just those three guys is like doing a disservice to the issue at hand.
Very slow now. Let's
The
ease it down to
disrespect.
700.
Although I don't like the three of them because they knew better, then they should have just
Whoa,
canceled the
stop.
test.
I didn't move any rods there.
What is this?
Not even touching it.
It's still dropping. Then it goes back. Then what? Oh. But he did exactly what you suggested.
We have to shut all the way down.
No.
Well, we could be in a xenon pit. We have to shut down, wait 24 hours.
No, we're doing the test tonight. Raise power to 700.
Well, but-
I think you know I will see to it.
Well,
Raise the power.
I would like you to record your command.
Raise the power.
It boggles my mind that out of everybody in the control room, I believe at this point he's the only one who lived inside of that control room.